Hey guys, it's Ray. I wanted to talk about the last couple days. I actually made a video and I think I might have erased it or lost it somehow. But it was basically about Father's Day and Juneteenth both being right after the other. And I wanted to kind of make a video to incorporate both. The one I mention regularly is a lot of white people like to use the stereotype that black people don't have fathers or black men aren't good fathers, which couldn't be further from the truth. And I'm not even going to use my personal life like so many of them do. When it comes to men who are no longer with the mother of their children or married or living with that woman, black men make up the highest percentage for men who spend the majority of the time with their children as compared to any other race. So I wanted to talk about that, the fact that with Father's Day, they say we don't have them. And then with the abolishment of slavery, they claim it ended. The Emancipation Proclamation is the main thing I wanted to focus on before the black codes that came after the slave codes. But a lot of people don't realize that the Emancipation Proclamation was actually issued twice. The first time it was Lincoln's threat to the Confederacy. And of course, the majority of us who actually know and don't speak first, we know that the Civil War was to save the Union. And once the first Emancipation Proclamation was sent out, Britain and France wanted to take sides with the South. And the Emancipation Proclamation stopped that because of how many people in Europe had disagreed and felt some type of way about slavery and, well, chattel slavery to be exact, and the treatment of people as property. So they did not follow through with that, or it would not have been a civil war, it would have been more. The first time he issued it, it was in September of 62. And it was basically just letting them know, if you do not stop your rebellion, I'm going to issue this order and make it sound. And you will no longer have your slaves, and the slaves will not be allowed to basically fund them or make all the revenue for you. And because they did not stop the rebellion, the Emancipation Proclamation was issued January 1st of the next year in 1863. And it was only issued specifically to the southern states in the rebellion. And that also is something people do not know or care to know. Now, at first, it was to preserve the Union, and once this proclamation went into effect, the politicians got a hold of it, and it started to become an issue about slavery, which shifted the war and its reasoning to slavery. Once it went through and the war was fought, yada yada blah blah blah, immediately afterwards, black codes went into effect from the South in the states that were affected by their rebellion. And it went from slave codes basically saying you're a property and this is your rules, to black codes basically saying the same exact thing with different verbiage. And I want to read the slave clause we all know from the 13th Amendment, unless we're still, ignorant and stupid and willful to not know shit. The 13th Amendment says in Section 1, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. With that being said, southern states added vagrancy laws. And the main one was for black people and mulattoes. Yes, mixed people. You too. Which stated that anybody the very next day after, which meant because it was issued January 1st of 63, January 2nd and thereafter, if a black or mulatto person did not have proof of residency and a job, paying job, they could be picked up and have to work for free for a certain amount of years, which meant the majority of the slaves that were freed actually got picked up because one day is not enough to find a fucking job or a residence, especially being thrown out into the streets with no clothes, no money, no nothing. Those people had to work back for the same exact master they were just freed from. And incorporating the Father's Day into this message, our vagrancy laws of today happen to be child support. And no, I do not in any way, form, or fashion think people should not take care of their children. I have an issue with people being told exactly how much their child is worth based on how much they make and how much a father can spend as far as time with their children, which, statistically speaking, is not enough to build a strong foundation and stop those statistics that happen whenever you are in a single parent home, which are a drastic increase of mental health issues, drug use, violence, being arrested multiple times, and becoming a single mother if you are the child in a home of just a single mother. So I wanted to at least let the black fathers know I know better. And because of the stereotype that y'all don't exist, I think it's best that at least I know and let you know that I see you, and there's plenty of us out here who do, and we love and appreciate you and everything you do that goes unnoticed based on nothing more than a stereotype. So that's your little meshing of Father's Day and Juneteenth. Which, by the way, I should mention, since I'm here, when it comes to white people trying to claim we're so, just naturally savage and violent, they constantly mention that you're only 13% of the population and you make up over 50% of the murder cases. Figured it'd be the time to at least mention. It's very rare whenever you are found guilty of a crime to be able to go up in court and retry the case. But for all of the murder exonerations, black people make up 63%. Not that anybody would care who is throwing out the black on black crime bullshit lies, but just something to know, just in case you actually become not all of us one day, for the nosy white people who are here listening to a conversation that you were not invited to.